The Case Files of John Patrick Onett, Private Employment Investigator, by Dr. Vade Meekum. John Patrick Onett was born on August 26, 1950, the son of Mary and Riley Onett. The couple was of Irish descent. Their great-great-grandparents immigrated from Ireland during the Great Potato Famine, 1845 to 1852. The first American Onetts, James Henry and his wife Maggie, arrived in New York in 1851. He got a job as a laborer and his wife a seamstress. Together, they eked out a meager living for themselves and their 5 children. Their eldest son, Brian, wanted a better life and devoted himself to qualifying for an officer's position on the New York Police Department. He succeeded and established a family tradition of law enforcement. One of Brian's sons, Emmett, became an inspector, credited with solving numerous cases of murder and robbery that had stumped other forensic experts. His son Riley also became an inspector, but became nationally famous for creating the specialized field of employment investigations, which treated the job search process, screening and interview techniques and methods, occupational training, and related issues. He became a recognized expert in all things pertaining to employment. Brian Onett's son, John Patrick, pursued the same career specialty and earned a reputation surpassing even that of his father's. But as he grew older, John Patrick left public service to become a private employment investigator. His consulting services were sought coast to coast by those needing to unravel deep employment mysteries. Inspector Onett's associate, Dr. Vade Meekum, recorded each of these consultations, and now, for the first time, these accounts are available to the public. Here are the official case files of Inspector Onett, Private Employment Investigator. The Case Files of John Patrick Onett, Private Employment Investigator, by Dr. Vade Meekum. File number 1. The Case of the Unhinged Acknowledgements. Willie Dawson sent an urgent email to Employment Inspector John Patrick Onett. Below is the text. See Figure 1.1. Dear Inspector Onett, I have been looking for a job for months. I have good experience, but no employer will contact me for an interview. In fact, my resume hasn't even been acknowledged. So I have included it for your review. Please help me to find out why I am not getting callbacks. Willie Dawson, wdawson1881@gmail.com, 817-421-9881. Inspector Onett downloaded Dawson's email and resume. Those are figures 1.1 and 1.2. He glanced at each briefly, frowned with a glimmer of irritation, and then handed the resume and email to his associate, Dr. Vade Meekum. What do you make of this, Meekum? He said in a matter-of-fact tone. Well, the gentleman seems to have experience in this line of work, and he has worked steadily. But J.P., he continued, using an informal abbreviation of his friend's name, John Patrick, which was his habit, I don't know why he hasn't been acknowledged by at least a few employers. There must be restaurants out there needing cooks. True, replied Onett. This client may have good skills. He may be quite qualified for the kind of work for which he is applying. But it is really not a mystery why employers are not contacting him. I can see the most probable reasons quite easily. Why did Inspector Onett say that?